Hey, good morning and welcome, everybody. This is the Council on Future Conflicts. My name's Watcher, filling in for Scott while he's out for a couple days. And I'm, of course, joined by my good friend Joe. Joe, how are you this morning?
Hey, I'm well and good. We did I had a good weekend of classes. We did some basic pistol classes this weekend, and everyone had a good time. We had a surprise visit from Hunch the Dirty Roofer, which only enhanced the weekend and made it more fun. And even more important than that, aside from the fun everyone had a class and hanging out, we made Alan, the 86-year-old Navy veteran, smile and made him happy by having folks around and filling some of his needs for the weekend and actually doing some work with him in the lodge building. So we got a lot done this weekend. Had a good time doing it, and hey, it's always good when we have other folks here at the camp with us.
Hell yeah, man. Hunch is a good guy to have around if you're trying to put a roof up. Just saying.
I didn't even make him get on a roof all weekend.
Oh, yeah. As far as me, we're doing good. All good in the Watcher crew. Just had another hatch out of a bunch of chicks and it was good times. So what can I say? Operations are proceeding abreast. Oh, I guess I'll say before we hop into the show, if anybody out there has a young family member that you're looking to buy a gaming PC rig for, reach out to me. You personally can be in possession of a Watcher built rig, but only one of you. Kind of kidding, only a little bit. But yeah, if you do want my graphics card, reach out. I want to get this thing out of here. Let's see. Anything else before we get started? I don't think so. There has to be some innuendo in the title. Not really, actually. Today's title is pretty cut and dry. What you see is what you get.
Yeah,
I will say that this photo looks a little bit like I had to double check and make sure this wasn't like just somebody typing into an AI. Scene of a volcano exploding inside of hell.
or as we like to call it, the west side of Tehran.
Pretty
One or the
much.
other.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I was just having a conversation with someone in the chat. I want to bring this up and ask everyone for some prayers. Union City, Michigan, suffered a freak tornado over the weekend. A very odd time of year for a tornado, but there are many, many missing, and there are dead and injured, and massive destruction across the area. So, prayers for the people of Union City, Michigan.
Holy cow, I missed that. That's
Yeah.
what a time of year to get hit by one too. Definitely
Right?
not hurricane
Yeah.
season. Damn. Tornado season. Whew. It will be interesting to watch the recovery effort on that one and compare it to, shall we say, years immediately past.
We're going to get started right away with the weird and odd weather phenomenon. I won't say that some people might have a space laser, but entirely possible.
But I did
and the
see
weather
some interesting videos this week. I don't know if you saw the same one I saw, but I was like, oh, so it is real. Oh, okay. Might as well not dilly-dally anymore. Chad, it's good to see you. Thanks for being here. Let's roll into our first odds and ends topic, I suppose, which this week isn't really fun. Not gonna lie to you. So we kind of have a ran twice. It's a main story topic, but also this one didn't quite fit into the main story topic. So as a bus carrying a women's football team leaves the stadium, the situation suddenly took a dramatic turn when from inside the bus, the players began signaling help in sign language. This all started when they refused to sign the national anthem in their first game, which prompted the regime to go on national TV the very next day and promise a severe punishment once they returned, calling them all unforgivable wartime traitors. Iranians quickly rushed to close the road and stop the bus from departing, but Australian security guards stepped in and forced everyone not to intervene.
Well, it's Australia, so
yeah.
So it's going to be sad. We'll have to see what the rest of this story turns out to be. But I don't know. The girls could have just not got on the bus and defected if they wanted to. So
True. Ugh. Just kind of a crappy situation. I don't know. I honestly, were I Australia, oh no, we're offending the Iranians.
yeah.
Our next one is also not a fun story. Joe, I don't know if you heard this one or not, but breaking news as of last evening, when I was making the notes about 5 hours ago, synagogue explodes in Belgium. Happened at about 4 a.m. local time. Was a powerful enough explosion to shatter the windows of the buildings across the street from it, but no one was injured. Police say the cause is unknown. They're investigating as an explosive device, accident, or, something else. Because, synagogues, they're known to just explode.
They're well known to just fire up and explode. It could be because of the fiery sermon that was being given by the rabbi. But given the fact that it's in Belgium, I wonder how close this was to the Molenbeek neighborhood that is overrun. So
I wouldn't bet very far. Somebody posted this, which I thought was good. Meanwhile, in Belgium.
Hey, was that a picture of the rabbi just above? No, I thought it would be Rabbi Samuel Heidelberg.
the good rabbi, yes. But things are going very well in Belgium right now. Why does anyone ask?
Why would anyone assume this was an explosive device at a synagogue when they're having so much cultural enrichment and love being spread all over the place?
I would look for another summer of church burnings in Europe if you wanted to go visit all those wonderful European cathedrals. The time to do that was probably about a decade ago.
Heimdall all-seeing waifu said that there have been protests at the U.S. Embassy in Belgium every week for the last 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh no!
Hold on, I have to actually reprimand someone in the chat. Mr. Scott Awesome, did any of you see the Trump parody of A Flock of Seagulls? My good man, you have clearly not been watching this show because we have shown it literally every show for the last
3 times. I think we've shown that 3 times now, yeah.
Yeah, we showed it several times.
And then, Joe, for our third odds and ends, why don't you tell us about this one? You grabbed it.
Yeah, so apparently protests have broken out in Cuba in response to the worldwide events, and these people are demanding some freedom and the fall of the regime. So good on them for actually getting out on the street. But it is Cuba, so they'll probably all be killed by the end of the day. But hey, I give them props for trying. Cuba is one of the countries that matters the most because it's only 93 miles from the United States, and it really we'd really like to see them get some freedom. It could be a beautiful place, but sadly, because of mismanagement, it looks like this: run down, and the most common car on the street is a '57 Chevy. So sad. But good luck to them. Good luck to them.
Good luck to them. Viva Cuba. Hope you guys. Well, God, I can't even say overthrow Castro, right? Because now it's his fucking kid. But I see that going very nastily, very quickly, Joe. I don't know about you.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Oh, as far as a revolution in Cuba goes, I see that going very poorly, very nastily, and very fast.
Yeah. Excuse me. And as a reminder, NC Scout ran a program during the last set of Cuban protests called Operation Cuba Libre, where although Cuba was banning shortwave radios and jamming them, we used HF radios to enable communication between elements within Cuba until the Cuban government turned their over the horizon radar towards North Carolina and started blasting away. So we do what we can to help.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see what kind of goodies we get out this time, eh?
Yep.
All right, Joe, we're a little bit ahead of schedule, and I'll warn everybody. So we have a lot of links we're going to cover, but there's a very good chance that we finish ahead of schedule today. Not because Scott's slow, but because I'm a motor mouth. That's just the way things are. That's how it is.
Well, I won't say it's a little column A, a little column B.
But this first one was interesting. We had many airport and airplane. Oh no, wait, hold on. We gotta do ad break.
Promotions first. Promotions
right,
first.
Ad break.
We gotta follow the plan, even though Scott's not here. He did write a good plan. Head over to tacticalwisdom.com. I threw out an article.
I think Joe made the classic back button mistake. So I'm going to pan for time while Joe comes back. I'm hoping that what did not happen, is that Charlie the Friendly Grizzly Bear did not just chomp down on Joe's internet cable leading back in from the Starlink. That would be bad days. But yeah, just watch your no riots. This is awkward. Yeah, no joke. There he is.
That was totally not my fault. No, it was completely my fault. I clicked the link on the wrong tab, and away I went. Anyway, I wrote an article over the weekend about understanding where you are versus where you want to be, understanding the truth of the situation and what that means for risk geopolitically and hyper locally. So check that out and study that kind of stuff. It's good stuff. Then click on over to the schedule and see what we have coming up. This weekend, I have a basic pistol class that's just for women. A lot of times women don't want to go shooting around men, so we're going to run a basic pistol class just for women. Also going to run land navigation this Saturday. If you've ever wanted to learn how to use a map and compass, I have a one-day class, but you can come and hang out all weekend anyway. We'll do all kinds of things. And next weekend, we'll be running Fieldcraft. So we have a lot of classes. There's pretty much something scheduled every single weekend. Lots of things going on. Come on up and check out what we've got happening, and enjoy the scenery out here. It's been fantastic. When we were going out to the range on Friday to set up for the weekend's classes, we encountered a herd of elk right on the property, which is always fun. And come check out what we have here and join us. Remember, too, that I can program your radios for you. For $125, you get up to 5 radios programmed. Unless they're digital, then the price goes up to $150 because a little more work involved.
Because fuck you, have you ever tried to do that yourself?
Not any fun at all doing digital radios, but I will do it for you if you need that done. So check all that out.
And speaking of Brush Beater and all things radio, head on over to brushbeater.store. Use code CFC for 5% off just about everything in the store. And that's an incredibly wide variety of things, an increasingly wide variety of things. In fact, I've almost wanted to start calling this a menagerie. We have everything from daytime optics, nighttime optics, heat optics. You've got an incredible variety of communications equipment, first aid equipment, and just about every kind of class you can think of. If you want to be better armed and better prepared, brushbeater.store is where you go. And CFC10 is the code you use.
By the way, Brushbeater will be here June 12th through the 17th doing RTO in SIGINT for our traditional spring training week. I'm going to wrap a class around one end or the other of that. And I would bet that Kay will make an appearance and do some sort of classes as well. We generally try to have a big group come on out. So check that out.
All right. Before we jump in, let me share with audio this time because we're about to get into the interesting stuff. Joe, there were an awful lot of incidents surrounding airplanes in the United States this weekend. I'm not sure if you noticed.
Yes.
Oh, actually, hold on. I guess before we get into that, we do have a breaking news announcement. We do appear to have struck 3 new Iranian vessels. So, yay!
Well, they were given a back channel warning to not attempt to leave the port, and they continue to attempt to leave the port. And you know what? There's that whole dispute that went on over the weekend amongst everybody about was the ship that we sunk in the Indian Ocean armed or unarmed? It's a warship. It's right in the name. If you're an Iranian warship, you get sunk. And listen, I'm sure they were disarmed during the parade they were in, but no Navy sends a ship out at sea unarmed. It's just the way it is.
Facts. Not only that, but in this situation, its sensors are, in fact, one of the most dangerous weapons it holds in that position. So,
and by the way, the ship itself is a weapon.
Yeah.
As we've seen with China repeatedly, they'll ram you. So,
but yeah, back into what I was talking about, planes. Well, you can't get any more specific than that. Let me start that over.
Going to bomb the plane. Dead to America, dead to Trump. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar.
And this is when an air marshal should have stood up and slumped the guy.
Why are the rest of the men just sitting?
Yeah, they're getting up there.
Oh my God. You got to sit down. Don't move. Has he got anything on it? Careful, just be careful, be careful. Sit down. Okay. All right.
Mike, do you have it?
Has he got a phone on it? I don't know. Is that his phone? It's not mine. That's my phone, my phone.
Where's he sitting?
Is that your phone?
Yeah, my phone.
Have you got anything on you? Have you got anything on you?
No.
Why are you doing that?
I am doing that.
Check his pockets.
I can't believe it. It's a domestic flight, and we let a Brit take him down. I can't believe it.
How long have you been down?
Apparently, he's upset because the meal on the plane was not halal. Come on, that was a joke, and it was funny.
Sorry, I had to cough there for a second. Yeah, it's interesting though. I think he might have just been having a spaz out because he gets subdued, and then I think they find out there is no bomb, and then also I think it's kind of interesting that they get the guy on the ground, and then he immediately just kind of okay, I'm gonna go limp.
Yeah. Jay Leno once did a joke back in the 90s that said, "Who's this Allah guy and what's he got against airplanes?" But man. Meanwhile, we're gonna underfund. We're not gonna fund DHS, and we're,
Oh yeah, no. I was gonna that was you beat me to the wrap up of this whole section, Joe. As we were gonna go over all this crazy shit that's happening in the U.S., and then we were gonna go over the fact that DHS not funded.
And by the way, he probably was upset because he thought that plane was going to Djibouti, and he found out that it was not.
Back. I think that must have also happened to this gentleman. Different flight. This one ended up getting broken up by the SWAT team.
Well, this one was different. I believe that they got a tip that a particular person on the plane had a device. This one wasn't the guy causing a scene or anything like that. What happened there was no one on the plane heard anything. Just the plane was stopped. A SWAT team surrounded it, and they were all told to put their hands up. And they came and grabbed a specific person and his luggage and took him off the plane. No more has been released about it, other than the fact that it was a bomb threat. I don't think that someone called it in. I think somebody called in a tip that this particular guy might have a device.
So I think now is a good time to stop and talk about something, which is, Joe, I don't know if you've heard these rumors that I've heard swirling. I'm sure you have, but it's interesting that a lot of these things have happened, and I don't see the news talking about it anywhere.
Right.
And I've heard that, and right or not, I'm literally just talking about the scuttlebutt here, right? So I just want everybody to make sure that we're couching this correctly. I have heard a rumor, and I am sharing that rumor. And the rumor on the street is that Donald Trump himself has said that he doesn't want coverage of potential Iranian counterattacks in the United States, or at least minimal coverage.
Whether that's true or not, it's not his place to say. We're supposed to have a free press that reports the truth to the American people.
Yeah.
So if you are concerned that you're not getting the truth from everyone, sign up as a supporter at tacticalwisdom.locals.com, and you will get a lot of news that does not come out.
But Joe, this wasn't even the last airport-related incident. Or you see, weirdly, the FBI also fully evacuated the Kansas City airport this weekend. And they, there we go. And they have yet to really say why, except, I mean, they brought in the bomb team, so that does sort of explain why, but I didn't hear a resolution to this at all.
Well, yeah, they gave a complete ground stop, ordered it, and then no other information ever came out. So again, I'm sure the information is there somewhere available, but I've been too busy to dig for it. But there probably is some in there, some truth in there, or there's probably been a resolution given, but only locally, right? The national news didn't report it. So
it's a lot of these weird missing kind of trailing end stuff, Joe, and you know, that would be a weird and terror-filled weekend that we would pat ourselves on the back sheepishly and say, see, we've been telling you this was coming for a long time. We told you to probably not go out this weekend. We told you particularly not to go out to any protests. We've been saying that for a very long time. And I think after the last time Jake Lang was out in public, I think we said pretty specifically, hey, don't hang out around that boy. It's a occupational health hazard.
Entirely possible.
Well, let's get into that then, shall we? Because a friend of ours, someone that you and I both happen to be mutuals of, and someone you've actually worked with before, had an interesting run-in. Look at the branding on the bottom of that video, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's just watch this, shall we?
If I was BG, I would not stand that close to that dude.
No, unfortunately, I could be wrong here, but fortunately, I went and checked BG's timeline, and unless BG has learned to teleport, one of the places he was covering was not him, because he was covering too many places on the same day for it to have physically all been him. So hopefully this one was somebody that he paid for footage, but who?
Liberal women! Support the white liberal women!
So let's set this up, shall we? We're in New York. I don't know if it's an explicitly anti-Muslim counter protest that's going on or what, but there's a leftist event happening, and Jake Shields decided to counter protest it. And then this happened. Now, okay, now I don't know if you saw it, but you can definitely hear it. Watch this area. Someone just threw a bomb at them.
Somebody threw a fucking bomb, bro.
Yeah, that was a nail bomb. You seen it? That's
Holy
a nail bomb.
shit.
What's a nail bomb?
I didn't see it, so
You don't worry, I've got like 5 or 6 other angles. So
let me point something out, that Jake Lang is a reprehensible human being and an absolute moron. That being said, he has the right to do whatever he wants, to say whatever he wants. That doesn't mean that that Allah's boys get to throw bombs at him and try to kill him.
You know what's the funny thing is for people who've been screaming at us about peaceful protesters for many years.
Yeah.
Jake has never done anything except peacefully protest. I don't like him. I think he's a scumbag, but he's literally right in that line.
Everyone here to stay in New York. You don't get to come from outside and then tell everyone else.
And there's angle one. Look at how giddy the leftists are, too. Let me pull up another one. This one's a little better.
Look at everyone smiling and laughing about it. Those people are crazy.
Yep. Here they go. Lighting the bomb. Oh, what did it cut there? Oh, shoot. I thought this was just a solid run all the way through. Why did they cut it there? Because I've seen that clip. There's an uninterrupted clip of him throwing it. And then he throws the second one at the top.
That cop's having a coronary because he had 4 chili dogs before the fight.
Let's be honest. 4 chili dogs put a healthy man in his grave.
Can I point out the dichotomy that is the Muslim with the man bun?
Yes.
The two things do not go together. This guy is clearly not stable.
Threw a bomb? Yo, did he throw a bomb, bro? Nice. That shit stinks. That shit stinks. Yo, did he just throw an Allah Akbar bomb, bro? Yo, that shit stinks. You know damn well that wasn't me, though. That was crazy. He threw an Allah Akbar cocktail at y'all. That was some wild shit, bro. And y'all saying them niggas is good? Yo, go back to back. Go back to back. This is where shit start going crazy. Yo, you hit a cop, bro? What's wrong with you, bro? You fucking retarded? This nigga retarded. He just hit a cop.
Yeah, why would they possibly tackle it? He said Allahu Akbar and threw a bomb. I mean, come on. Everyone does that.
Facts. Interesting color commentary, though. I did appreciate that.
Right? Hey, Lance Corporal Veteran has a good comment here for $5. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people don't know who Jake Lang is and think it's funny and try to support him. Yeah, it's facts. I'll be honest, I don't know much about who he is apart from just what I've seen.
Well, he's a J6 protester. He was pardoned by Trump, but he goes around and does absolutely egregious things to attempt to get on the news and to attempt to get Muslims angry at him. Listen, you don't have to go around and smear Qurans with bacon, which is stupid, right? Let it go. You would be upset if they did that to a Bible or whatever your chosen holy book is. There's no need to antagonize them. The Muslims already hate you. There's no need to make it worse.
Facts. Amir Ablat and Ibrahim Nick have been arrested for throwing a nail bomb at protesters at a protest towards Jake Lang.
So here's the interesting thing about these two gentlemen. They have both traveled to Turkey relatively recently, where they received some training and attended a couple of different groups and events. And they are the children of immigrants that we allowed in. So I think that the reason why the media is not covering these isn't to support Trump, but it's to support the Muslims. They don't want to paint Muslims in a bad light. That's why they don't want to show it.
Well, and the other side of this that's come out is that they're, in ways that cannot be denied, they're pretty avowed leftists. So, two Muslims, Amir Ablat, attempted to detonate an IED during a protest yesterday near New York City mayor's mansion, but they failed to detonate. Now, I've looked into this. They probably used a substance called TATP. The deal with TATP, and this is our fortunate saving grace here, is that it is easily contaminated. So if you're not very smart individual trying to do this. You likely made it, tested a little bit of it, went, ooh, that was good, and then contaminated it immediately. So, hooray. But real quick, I just a friend of mine, Louise, here points out something that I think is important. Ask me how I know what we're. Sorry. So this is from an older one. I'm going to read this first one first. He goes, they produced and used TATP for their attack. We also have IEDs in Brownsville, right next to SpaceX, with alerts put out to Texas farmers and ranchers in the area. So, anyways, greetings from the future. Pardon. This was an original post that he made a couple of days ago, which is ask me how I know what I'm looking at here in Austin right now. One of these guys started, once these guys start adding easy to make from grocery store ingredients bombs to the mix, is where it hits another level that most of y'all aren't ready for. Boomers will still look at you and say, don't be mean to people.
You know, what's worse is not only that, I pointed this out last night, but the NBC New York headline for this whole event said, there was an anti-Islamic protest outside the home of Mamdani Mamdani, and explosives were found afterward.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that leaves out a whole lot of really important stuff in the middle, like who threw the explosives and how they got there, right?
Yeah.
They make it imply as though it was Jake Lang's people who planted the bombs around Mamdani's house, which is not the case at all.
Yeah,
so
we'll get to
not hate the mainstream media enough.
Agreed. We'll get to useless Mamdani's statement here in a minute. I just thought we'd not wrap up, but I thought we'd have a little bit of this, which is I just can't help but watching this clip, Joe, because it shows the homes they were living in, and I'll let it speak for itself.
We continue to follow a developing situation outside Gracie Mansion, the official home of New York City's mayor, who at this time is Zoran Mamdani. The NYPD says it is now investigating a suspicious device found inside a vehicle. This comes after 2 men were arrested yesterday for throwing improvised explosive devices during 2 dueling protests near the mayor's mansion. Sources tell Fox News those devices were made with a dangerous material used in some very high-profile terror attacks. Fox News contributor Paul Morrow joins us once again on the phone. I suppose it is no surprise to you, Paul, that if there were a couple of devices that were thrown yesterday, that leaving a device in a car or a truck nearby might also have been part of the operation here.
Yeah, no surprise there, John. It tracks to things that we've seen in the past, certain ones that I'm sure the public recalls well, like, for instance, the Boston Marathon bombing, when the Tsarnaev brothers were actually fleeing from the police. Once they'd been discovered, they had all kinds of other devices that they were actually literally throwing out the back of the truck at investigators as they were being pursued. So I don't know what the plan was of these 2 guys, but my gut tells me that almost certainly this is connected to the events that we saw yesterday.
For the comments in the chat, they don't care if TATP is lousy for an explosive. It's still an explosive. It gets the job done. Anyway. Watcher, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
Oh, oops. So I just want to say thank you so much to American Dreamer for the $5. She asked a very interesting question. She goes, my son flies from Clearwater to Kansas City in a week. Should I tell him to cancel?
No, they
yeah.
I just read the follow-up. They did indeed search the airport and grounds, and there was nothing found.
Good deal. I will say that picture it this way, even on a day when we had 3 airport-related incidents all in one day, there were thousands of flights that occurred without any incident in the United States. Even on that day. You know what I mean? Like, yep. It is what it is. It's statistically improbable that will mean anything, but appreciate your $5 and hope everything goes well. Hope you get to see him soon. Watch, you're sleeping. No, not sleeping. I muted myself and didn't realize it.
It happens.
Let's get to this piece of crap statement, shall we? So Zorhan got on immediately afterwards to say, yesterday, white supremacist Jake Lang organized a protest outside Gracie Mansion rooted in bigotry and racism. Such hate has no place in New York City. Let me be clear. I don't think any of Jake Lang's actions are really rooted in bigotry or racism. I know that that's what he throws off. I think Jake Lang's actions are motivated by wanting to be famous.
I'm not gonna defend Jake Lang. So
I'm not defending him either. I think that's a worse reason, to be honest. At least one of those is you having a conviction. The other one is you saying shitty, terrible things because you think it's going to get you money.
Yeah.
That's my read on it anyways. Let's see. Such hate has no place in New York. It's an affront to our city's values. Okay, hold on. So you spent the entire first paragraph of you getting on to address what happened of somebody trying to bomb him.
No, he just turned around and blamed it all on him.
Yeah. What followed was even more disturbing. Violence at a protest is never acceptable. The attempt to use an explosive device and hurt others is not only criminal, it's reprehensible. See, this is one of those slimy statements where if you actually know what went on, it seems like an acceptable statement. But if you read between the lines, if you had no idea what happened, he makes it sound like Jake Lang's the one who brought the explosive.
Yes.
I absolutely hate slimy pieces of shit like this. I don't know what to say, Joe, beyond denaturalize.
Yeah, but it's similar to the NBC News statement that I wasn't allowed to finish my commentary on.
Oh, sorry.
Everyone tries to say, all right, so Jake Lang did a protest and bombs were found, therefore Jake Lang planted the bombs. That's what the average person reading the headline or reading this statement will think, and they won't investigate beyond that. And for all of you in the chat, it's your job to make sure all of your BoomerCon family members understand the truth of what actually happened. Because I know this, my parents will read this and say, yeah, that Jake Lang guy, his people bought bombs here, because that's what Mamdani said. He has to tell the truth. He's a mayor. No, he doesn't have to tell the truth, and he doesn't, and he's lying. And while the statement is factually accurate, he implies something that is untrue. And it's one thing when a politician does it because you expect him to. It's another when NBC New York does it because folks above the age of, say, 65 all believe that the news is required to tell the truth for some reason. It's crazy. So try and share the actual truth with everyone you talk to.
Good point, Joe. Well, let's drag this one out a little bit, shall we? Where do we think this is going to go? Because I see it escalating. I think this will look like a mild, I think next week we will look back and this weekend will look like a milder weekend.
I'm sorry. Did you ask me something?
I did, but that's all right.
My bad.
I was just asking where you think the trajectory is headed on this. And
worse. This is going to continue throughout the week. And we're going to see it'll probably quiet down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're going to see a lot more of this. Or let's not forget, we had a young man who was caught over the weekend putting a bunch of bombs in a dumpster and what was most likely a dead drop for somebody else to pick up. So there's a lot more of this going on than you're going to hear about.
Very weird that we're not hearing so much about it, by the way. And I know that we harped on that earlier in the show, but I still can't get it out of my head how odd that feels. The only places that I'm really seeing this at all are Twitter and X and various different YouTube-based independent journalists. So. Does anybody remember all the military-age males crossing the border over the last 4 years? Yeah, I seem to remember something about that.
Huh. Crazy, right? Crazy. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, Watcher.
Yeah, nope, total coincidence. Same with all the fires at food production facilities.
keep in mind also that prior to all of these things happening, there was a number station coded HF message that came out of Iran and broadcast worldwide. Now we have attacks on mosques. On synagogues in Belgium, explosive attacks in New York City and throughout the country. I'm sure, once again, it's all just a big coincidence.
Well, can't labor on that point any longer than we already did. Just going to warn everybody now, looking at the timing, you're going to get a very short show today, and I didn't intend it for that. Scott's right. I go too fast. But let's get in on it, Joe. Have you seen what happened in Iran over the weekend? Because
well, it depends on which one you're talking about, because a lot happened in Iran over the weekend.
Oh, a crap ton did. What stood out to you? Mine was the pillars of fire erupting out of the Iranian sewers. That was.
No, I didn't see that. Mine is just continued war and continued disorganization in the Iranian leadership. They're striking back, but nothing with any sort of plan behind it. Right, just random strikes all over, attempting to draw places like Azerbaijan, Armenia, and Georgia into the conflict. And there is the statement issued overnight ordering the evacuation of the U.S. Embassy in Riyadh. Sure, it did take one direct hit, but that direct hit was to nothing vital and caused no injuries. But it makes you wonder what they know is coming.
Well, and particularly when Saudi Arabia had been saying, hey, if you keep attacking our oil facilities, we're actually going to join the U.S. and Israel and come kick your ass. Sounds like somebody's given notice that they're about to boot up.
Yeah. Yes.
I've got these in kind of a weird order for this, but that's fine. I thought this was interesting, Joe. I don't expose people to CNN often, but I felt this one worthwhile to do so. They had one of their panel shows on, and first of all, can I just say, let's just. Am I the only one who thinks he looks like he's crying?
Well, he probably is, because it
Lord.
says Trump right on the screen, and that's traumatic.
I didn't even. Good Lord. But they made the terrible mistake on their part of inviting a former Iranian political prisoner onto the show to help discuss this. I think you'll find this interesting.
2 days ago, yesterday, this morning, I was told we were not at war. Today in the press conference, Pete Hegseth says, end the war. Are we at war? Are we not at war? Do we want regime change or do we not?
The president told the Iranian people in his very first
moment.
I know this may sound controversial, and among my friends, some of them is controversial.
That's okay.
But I think that a lot of commentary is missing, perhaps, the big picture.
I agree.
And there is a big picture here. And perhaps to simplify it, I would put it this way. I don't think it's right to say that President Trump has started a war with Iran. I think President Trump wants to finish a war that Iran started in 1979, 47 years ago. And these aren't just words. Let me just tell you an anecdote. In the 2003, 2004, when I was there in Iran, working on projects at a very high level, I was talking with deputy ministers, I was talking with, going back and forth, and I was in the foreign ministry in Tehran, where I met someone who was very senior, and he was semi-sympathetic with the projects we were doing. But as I was leaving, he looked me in the eye, and he said, you as an Iranian American, I want you to know something and listen very carefully. He said, we in this building, and what he meant is the foreign ministry, which meant representing the government, which means representing the regime. He said, we believe we are at war with the United States. He said at that time, it's a Cold War, but it's a war nonetheless. This was a war.
I just remind you all,
Trump called it, and they all start screaming at the same time.
You can't let the truth get out there, Joe.
Unwatchable. So, I'm sorry.
Say again.
I just said CNN is unwatchable.
Oh no, it's facts. But you said all got to start screaming at the same time. And I said, well, you can't let the truth get out there, Joe. That was very dangerous there for a moment. They were all stupefied and mystified too much to step on his toes. And they accidentally let him talk a little too long.
It is ironic that these people are defending Iran of all places. If there was ever a nation that you could not be charitable about, it's Iran. And here they are, all doing it.
It's facts. You know, I had another one that I wanted to bring up in the middle of all this that I seem to have missed the link for, so I'm going to pan because I'm on the guy's page and I'm scrolling down to find it right now. But yeah, it's interesting. I have yet to hear an Iranian American who isn't in favor of this, which is kind of interesting, right? It'd be like the German Americans being all for us bombing Germany. They were not, by the way. They were not all about that. Anyways, I can't find it, but there was an interesting post by another GWAT vet who has a fairly large account, Cynical Publius, and he basically was asking, like, do the civilians not understand that, like, while the military guys, the veterans, we definitely are done watching pointless, dumb wars being fought by people who have no intention of actually trying to secure victory, and just wasting American lives in order to generate profit for Lord Raytheon. We are, most of us, I would say, pretty much all on board with a quick come in, give them what they deserve from the air and get out, considering how many friends a lot of us have lost, either lost or, you know, don't have legs or that kind of shit based on Iran's involvement in the last 20 years.
Anyone who was in Iraq post 2005 has wanted this fight to come for a long time. There are many who stood in houses where raids had occurred and pointed at a guy laying on the ground and said, that's an actual Iranian. Or we had Iranians who were taken into custody and then whisked away because the Iranians were directing, funding, and actually leading several of the actions on the ground. And people need to understand that, and they don't. Iran was entirely responsible for the insurgency in Iraq and continues to be so to this day. The Popular Mobilization Forces are Iranian-led Iraqi formations. So they're part of the instability there, instability in Syria, and just they continue to be. They're one of the reasons why we have that fine leader in charge of Syria right now. So they're evil to the core.
That's always good stuff. Let's see. I know this was a couple days ago, but Saturday, the commander-in-chief gave us an update on how the war effort goes. I figured we could spare a moment for that.
12 to a 15. Their army is gone. They're just about, look, their navy is gone. Their communications are gone. Their leaders are gone. 2 sets of their leaders are gone. They're down to their 3rd set. Their air force is wiped out entirely. Think of it. They have 32 ships. All 32 are at the bottom of the ocean. Other than that, they're doing very well, Coach. Very well. We're doing, our military is doing phenomenally. That's the big thing for this week. We seem to have a new thing every week, but the situation with a very bad and very sick group of leaders who were killing a lot of people. A lot of our people were.
Huh. Wow.
But somewhere there's a speechwriter going, my notes are right in front of him. Why won't he get to them?
But it's literally right there.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, he's not.
Well, that's interesting. I will be honest. I have been noticing some pretty interesting upticks in the war. For instance, it's something I think we predicted this, and Scott specifically, I think, said this is going to be coming. The rumors on the ground are, Joe, that we're taking Clark Island. So, fall, U.S. officials are reportedly discussing a plan to seize Iran's Karg Island, the choke point responsible for roughly 90% of Iran's oil export. If the proposal moves forward, the island would fall under U.S. direct military control in the next phase of the war, and Karg is just the opening move. Once it's secured, the plan shifts to locking down Iran's nuclear facilities and tightening U.S. control of the Strait of Hormuz itself.
Well, I put this in it says Mario Nafal right there.
Yeah. Well,
go down. It was the other island.
Yeah, he's still. This isn't me. It's a video. He's zooming.
Oh, all right.
So yeah, this is Karg Island.
Yeah, the other one was Kish. Yeah, they're not. I don't believe this at all. It's in a very tough position to support.
Karko Island, huh? I don't know. Well, on the same thing of other rumors, Joe, the other rumor I heard is that this next strike we're about to look at was not something that President Trump had either approved or is very happy about. Here we go. Whole screen, that'll work better. That one. I kind of heard some people say, "Oh no, not the oil," and I've seen this, but oil did one of the most precipitous rises and then immediate backtracks that it's ever done in price history. All this came on the heels of what are reportedly Israeli strikes on basically all of the fuel storage near Tehran. And I mean all, I mean like all. And this is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of gallons of refined oil. So much so that I need to find this one. I thought I had it in the notes, but apparently not. So much so that it overflowed into the sewers. And there are now videos of the sewers exploding in various different parts of Tehran.
And yet the power's still on in that building? I don't know if I believe this.
Well, there's hundreds of hours of videos on it from cell phones all over. Here we go.
Okay, that one looks horrible. The other video just to me looked computer generated. That's all.
So this is kind of after as well. There's one that you can watch it as the fire trails down it and kind of blows out manhole covers and stuff.
Well, let me point something out for all the folks who don't know a lot about this. Iranian oil is actually insignificant on the world market because they're not allowed to sell it to almost anyone. The only people who are getting Iranian oil are Russia and China, and okay, I'm perfectly fine with them not getting it. So,
same. Although it makes you wonder, Joe, if cutting off Iran jumped oil prices that much, it makes me wonder how many people were secretly, European allies of ours. Joe, people who we fight for their interests on a near daily basis. I think they may have been skirting the sanctions, Joe. Here we are. Here's this. Check this out. This is nuts. So yeah, that is the fumes from the various different types of fuels that have been leaking into the sewer all day, catching on fire at a point up the street, and that fire propagating down the manhole covers of the sewers down the street. That's crazy stuff.
Even the Haji Dash driver decided to go the other way.
Nope.
You'll get your falafel later, bro. Again, though, I'm just gonna say this would not be happening if not for the Iranian regime and their insistence on being at war with literally everyone.
Facts. I do not understand Operation Death Blossom that they have going on there. Don't understand how attacking everybody in the region, including your only trade partners, ultimately serves your interest in any way, shape, or form. This post was kind of interesting. They're saying that a fire has now erupted over a major oil depot in Tehran after reported strikes on fuel storage facilities, explosions, and thick smoke have been seen across the area. And then the next one is
there was an alert on a screen on that last one that said it raises alarm over China's oil supply, and I giggled a little bit inside.
You know what? Unplanned detour because you made us go here because I love it. I did a similar thing this weekend, Joe, from a person that I normally like. So old Muskie here got on and was like, this is a way bigger deal than you think, in response to the following. Official data reports that 12% of Chinese vehicles are now EVs, with fuel sales plunging 5% in 2025. To which he says, China is rapidly reducing dependence on oil. To which I said, China's rapidly reducing dependence on oil. It's actually China being cut off of the global oil market. Now they have no choice, so they're trying to rush as many EVs as they can before fuel.
This brings me to, we have to talk about reality again, right? Everyone thinks all these things are true, but again, vehicle ownership in China is a rarity.
Yeah,
so they're not as dependent upon gas as everyone thinks they are. But for the last 15 years, China has been building a massive oil reserve. And they took advantage of the United States draining her strategic petroleum reserves and filled their own by buying some at a pretty good price from us. So China has they're sitting on a massive stockpile of oil already. They were building up war stocks. They were stockpiling food and oil, and they're still sitting on that. So they're in good shape.
This next video is kind of interesting. This is, I believe this is a British guy. Oh, hold on. This is going to need audio. I think this is a British reporter in Tehran showing the aftermath, the morning after of those strikes. There's kind of
Let me show you something, because after those fires,
never mind, he's American.
There was actually rain here in Tehran this morning, and you can see here, because this is a white car, that the rain is actually apparently saturated with oil. You can see on my finger that it's completely blackened, and that's something that's been coming down for the better part of this morning. So of course that's also a concern for folks here in Tehran, that there's this rain that came down that seems to be saturated with oil.
I mean, not that they can hear me, but hey, people of Tehran, don't.
It always amazes me when people do this. Like Tehran would ever hesitate to do a similar strike against us if they had the capability.
Facts.
Let's stop pretending like they are moral people. I'm sorry that this happened to you, but maybe you should have changed your own government. You should have done something about it, overthrown them, fought them, did literally anything other than stand in the street and shout death to America. I refuse to be sympathetic. I do want the people of Iran to not suffer. But at the same time, this is the fault of the people of Iran for not removing the revolution.
Yeah. Take it from a guy who has a lot of friends who probably aren't going to be here for nearly as long as they should be because of burn pit shit. Don't breathe that stuff in. Don't put it on your fingers to show people on the internet. That's cancer. That is like straight cancer. But the Iranians aren't taking it laying down, Joe. Bahrain State Oil Company. Oh, hold up. There we go. Share that one. Yep, that one. So Bahrain State Oil Company, BAPCO, has declared force majeure on shipments after an Iranian attack triggered a major fire at its only refinery.
And look at the light at the same time.
Flickering.
As the power, the amount of power being generated fluctuates.
Well, I think this is a refinery rather than what am I trying to say? Rather than a power generation place. But yeah. The flickering's interesting.
Crazy. There's a question in the chat about they heard that we struck a desalination plant. We did not. I believe the UAE did. But yes, a desalination facility was hit. Again, while it does impact the civilians, we're attempting to impact the ability of their military to supply themselves.
Burning oil does look sad. I agree. Get in my truck. Just a couple more angles of this. And then honestly, Joe, we're on to our last one. I was going to just wrap it up with a little mission, little statement about what the goal is, because I know a lot of people have said that we're coming into this with no clearly stated mission statement, and the old commander-in-chief came out and gave it pretty directly, I feel.
Can you give us an idea of what unconditional surrender looks like to you? I mean, what do you want from Iran?
I said unconditional, not conditional. I said unconditional. It's where they cry uncle, or when they can't fight any longer and there's nobody around to cry uncle. That could happen too, because we've wiped out their leadership numerous times already. So it's if they surrender, or if there is nobody around to surrender, but they're rendered useless in terms of military.
Sounds like we're gonna break all their toys.
Yeah, we said it was going to be a sustained campaign, right? And so here we are making it a sustained campaign, and everyone seems shocked. And when people ask a question, what does unconditional surrender look like? That's a stupid question, because unconditional surrender is unconditional surrender. Pretty simple.
Just me. You might be onto something here.
Yeah.
Well, it's an inoculation, right?
Right. And then we can't figure out why we have health problems at this point, right?
Oh, man. Well, all right, Joe. I think we're going to render the people's time back to them today. We appreciate y'all being here. We appreciate you being here for the show. We'll be doing this again on Wednesday.
Let me give my tips and points here. I highly recommend that you be prepared, carry things with you, first aid kits, defensive tools, whatever it may be, and pay attention to your surroundings, because these people are going to get more and more desperate and more violent as the week goes on.
Yeah. If I could tack onto that, stay away from public gatherings, particularly protests. Nope. Better ways to make your voice heard at the moment. That's just a recipe for a bad time. Let's see. Mission will be accomplished when oil hits $300 a barrel. So I guess I should say that I think that oil, I think it's going to go up. I think your gas, I think that what we said last week is probably fair. Make sure that you never go below half a tank for a while. But I also think that gas is going to start coming back down pretty precipitously. You're probably going to see a lot of that oil that's currently sitting stranded in the Strait of Hormuz start to move again pretty shortly by my estimation. So stand by to repel borders. Hell yeah. All right, everybody. As Scott would tell you, stay safe.